We're here today with Shannon Miller, and we're so thankful that you came to help us just talk about women's health and the importance of women's health. We know that you have worked really hard to share your mission with other people, and you have a life story to tell. So we appreciate you being here with us.
I am so excited to be here and learn more about you, what you're doing, but also where the idea for this incredible breast health center came from.
Yes, well, I'm Stephanie Taylor, and I'm a general and breast surgeon here in town, and I have taken care of breast cancer patients now for many years, and I just have a really big passion for it. And so the idea for our breast center came about several years ago, just sitting at Charleston, just chit-chatting about what the local need in the community is and how we could help. And the person I was talking with was a big kind of healthcare advocate. And as we talked more and more, we realized that it's hard in Oklahoma City right now to get, or at the time, to get this kind of flow of a workup and take care of. And we know that this is a super, super stressful time for women to get a mammogram. And we had found that the time between an abnormal mammogram and maybe a biopsy and an MRI and then surgery and treatment, that time was dragging out to where
it's too much. And it's that time in between where you're wondering and all of these thoughts are coming in about what if this, what if that, and it's agonizing for the patient.
That's stressful. People want to be able to find out what's next.
So walk us through what happens next. If I go in for a mammogram and I get a letter that says, or a call that says there was an abnormality, what happens next?
Okay, well here, it was really important to us to stay on top of things so that they would be quick. So if you have an abnormal mammogram, you should get a phone call, sometimes the same day, but somebody's gonna call you, and the very next step with an abnormal mammogram is to come back in for a diagnostic mammogram. So there's a difference between just a screener. So everybody should start getting screening mammograms at the age of 40. But if your screener has some abnormalities, then we bring you back in and do what's called diagnostic imaging. And a diagnostic mammogram is closer imaging, tighter films, working up specific areas. And a lot of times an ultrasound goes along with that. So when it comes to diagnostic imaging, you already know that we're worried about something. So that same day, you should walk out of the building knowing, yes, I need a biopsy, or no, this is okay. So anytime the diagnostic imaging is going on, the breast radiologist is here on site looking at everything and can say, I'm sorry, Shannon, but it looks like we should do a little bit more of a work and maybe you need a biopsy. And so same situation, you don't want to have to wait forever for the biopsy. So the goal is, 24 to 48 hours before you get that biopsy. Sometimes the same day. Some people,
let's get it done.
Let's just get it done.
And it's so important because I feel like not only the longer the spaces in between those different steps, the more agonizing it is, the more stressful it is, but also there's that fear. Well, do I go back? Because if I go back, I might not get the news I want. And so then there might be that hesitation of even going to that next step. And what you want is the early detection, right? Let's catch it at the earliest stage possible.
That's exactly right, and that's real. Sometimes patients walk out and we tell them they need a biopsy, and if we let them out the door, it's weeks or they cancel or things happen.
It's normal human instinct. I don't want to get bad news.
Not at all, not at all. So after you have your biopsy, it does take probably 48 hours to get a pathology report back to know it's cancer or it's not cancer. And there's so many different pieces to that, but if you find out it's cancer, then depending on your breast density, your risks, other things, from that step, most people get a breast MRI, and breast MRI is looking for additional disease. Is there anything else in the other breast? Is there anything that was too small to see on the mammogram? In the process of the ultrasound, they also looked at the lymph nodes. Is it just the breast itself that looks like there's a concern, or do the lymph nodes look okay? And if there was concern about the lymph nodes, they would be biopsied at the same time. And so we take that process then and can reach out to the patients and say, okay, you have a small breast cancer, you're gonna have a treatment team, and your treatment team is gonna include a breast surgeon, which is what I do, an oncologist, and a radiation oncologist. So breast cancer is definitely takes a team to treat.
It does. It takes a team. And what I love about the entire setup of the Premier Breast Health Institute is that you have that team on board from the very beginning. You don't have to wonder, oh, what comes next? Who do I see? Where do I go? It is just all laid out for you. And that's so helpful because when you are going through a cancer diagnosis and treatment, it is a new world. It's a new language. It's all of these new things that you're trying to process for your health, along with all of the other things that you already have to do on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Take care of your kids, go to work, all of those things. But what you all do here is you take all of that into account. And I love that approach.
Thank you. That was super important to us. We wanted to build a facility that was beautiful, that women wanted to come to, that you didn't dread walking into. So we're super proud of our facility. And then we wanted to have the absolute best equipment that we could have. There are so many different, there's so many different options out there, right? And so we wanted to have, we want to be able to get the best workup. We have a contrast enhanced mammography also. And so there are certain people who can't have breast MRIs, or just for different reasons, this contrast enhanced mammogram would be better for them. So I feel like all around, we kind of have this encompassing setting for patients. We also do a lot of genetic testing. So when patients come in, they fill out they screen this little QR code, and again, with all of the modern technology, but you screen a QR code and then answer some questions, and it says you qualify for genetic testing or you don't need it. And
that goes into what type of screening do I get?
Absolutely.
What is the next step? What path should I be on, not just today, but years from now?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so we love to be able to offer that and counseling to patients. We have a counselor in-house, and so she's a sex therapist, and right now, when these patients are being treated for breast cancer, they're getting put on hormone blockers. It alters everything physical and mental about all of their personal life. And so just the option to be able to talk to somebody and have these kind of more focused resources is good.
What's amazing, and one of the things I love about what I do, I don't get to do surgery,
which is fun.
Which is great, but I can't cure cancer. But hopefully I can use whatever platform I have to create awareness about the great work that others are doing every day. And it is incredible, the medical advances, both in early detection and in treatment, that are going on every single day.
Absolutely.
And we want people to know about it. We want all women to know that these options are on the table, and they can get help walking through that.
Absolutely, absolutely. As we were putting together this facility and we were teaming with lots of kind of private groups, private physicians, other people around town, and the Oklahoma Proton Center was very supportive. And so we love it that we have a place that we can, send our patients. We have multiple oncologists in town, and we have the radiation center. So I think you got to see.
I got to see it, yes. I was out at the Proton Center yesterday, and I got to tour that, and it was fantastic. And it is amazing that we have that resource right here in Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
It's just tremendous for the community. It's a great opportunity for, again, the best treatment. Early detection here, get the best treatment along the way, and it's better outcomes.
Absolutely. Our theme is early detection leads to early treatment, which leads to long-term better survival. So,
absolutely.
Well, Shannon, I know part of your life story is that you've had ovarian cancer, and I, as a surgical oncologist and a breast surgeon, I'm always curious as to things that would make your experience better or worse, or things that I could do different. So tell me kind of a little bit about your journey and what you appreciated or could have liked better.
What strikes me most, because I was involved with health and wellness long before my own cancer diagnosis, and I think what took me by surprise is how little I knew about the process. I didn't even know what questions to ask or who to ask them to. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about creating awareness, about partnering with others that are doing good work, because I want other patients that have to go through such a difficult diagnosis to know what options there are, to know that they can speak up and advocate for themselves. And that doctors like you and the nurses that are taking care of you, they all want to know. They actually want to know, how can we do better? How can we help you more? And I was so afraid to kind of ask. And so I think what my journey taught me was there are no silly questions.
Right.
I'm sure that they've all got them before.
Right.
and there's, there's a lot of things that are going to happen, and there's someone there to walk you through it every step of the way. Yes. So don't be afraid to ask. And I think, with this center, it's just incredibly cohesive in the way that everyone works together, which is, I think, helpful because it kind of streamlines the process. You don't have to go out and find little bits and pieces of information here and there. It's kind of all laid out for you, which I think is incredibly helpful.
Totally agree. Would really, really encourage patients to ask lots of questions. And you're going to ask the same question 2 or 3 times because you just can't process, and it's okay. And it's okay. And bring people, have a team of your people with you so that.
That's the other thing I would say is it's so helpful to have someone on your side that comes with you.
Yes.
At least at a minimum to those doctor's appointments, but during treatment if possible, but to help be there. Because I think for me, I know the doctor would tell me something and it was like, wow. I would walk out and have no idea. It's just, there's so much information, and you're also still just battling with the mentality of, this can't be real. This can't possibly be real.
Right.
And so having someone there that's taking notes and like, nope, this is what we're gonna do. This is the next step. This is who we need to call. All of those things, it's just so beneficial.
Yes. Well, we appreciate that. Any way you guys can help us too is wonderful. So.
This is an incredible opportunity for this community and for so many that come to this community to get
from lots of people from out of town, and we love it. And we, kind of feel like we have the whole setup going. So, yeah. Well, Shannon, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great few days, and we're really just honored. We appreciate everything that you do for women's health and the time that you took to spend with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, and thank you for all that you do for your patients each day.
Thank you. Thank you.